Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Wangen, the founder and medical director of the IBS Treatment Center. And in today's video, we're talking about something that affects millions of people, but is often misunderstood: bile acid malabsorption and bile acid deficiency, especially after gallbladder removal. If you've had your gallbladder removed and are now struggling with chronic diarrhea or bloating or urgency after meals or other digestive problems, then this video is for you. So first off, what is bile and what happens after the gallbladder is removed? Well, let's start with the basics. Bile is a digestive fluid produced by your liver, and it helps you break down fats and to absorb fat and fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin D and vitamin E. And your liver sends the bile to your gallbladder where it's concentrated and stored. And then it's released when you eat, especially when you eat something fatty. But when your gallbladder is removed, which is a procedure called a cholecystectomy, that interrupts this whole process. So now when that happens, bile continuously drips into your intestines instead of being released in controlled amounts, in bursts when you really need it. And when this problem happens now, when it's dripping, this can disrupt your ability to digest foods and can lead to two different but related problems. One is bile acid malabsorption and the other is bile acid deficiency. So first off, what is bile acid malabsorption? Well, bile acid malabsorption happens when your intestines can't reabsorb the bile acids, which is what normally happens. That's what's supposed to happen, is bile acid is reabsorbed after it's put out in the intestinal tract. And this is especially problematic after gallbladder surgery because instead of being reabsorbed and recycled, excess bile acids spill further down the intestinal tract and into the colon. And that irritates those areas and leads to bile acid diarrhea, which is also often called chronic watery diarrhea. So other common symptoms that can happen include frequent loose stools, often after eating, can be gas, can be bloating, can be fatigue or nutrient deficiencies that can occur over time. And many people are misdiagnosed with IBS-D, which stands for IBS diarrhea, when they actually have bile acid malabsorption. Now, what's the other thing? The other thing is bile acid deficiency, and this is the flip side of the coin of this problem. So on the other side, some people experience bile acid deficiency, and without proper bile flow, when they need it, which happens when your gallbladder is removed, then they can't break down fats effectively. And this leads to too much fat, right, in the digestive tract or in the stool. So you can get floating or greasy stools, which is known as steatorrhea. You can get fat-soluble vitamin deficiencies, and you can get bloating and indigestion and unexplained weight loss or malnutrition in really severe cases. So while some people have too much bile in the wrong place or at the wrong time, others don't have enough where and when they need it. And yes, it's possible to have elements of both of these issues at the same time. Now, how do you diagnose this and test for this? So unfortunately, bile acid malabsorption is underdiagnosed. And the most accurate test is called the CCAT scan, but it's not widely available in the US. And instead, what most doctors do is use a therapeutic trial of a bile acid binder like cholestyramine or cholestyramine. And this is perfectly acceptable, and it's a good way to test if you have this problem, because if your diarrhea improves when you take those, then that confirms the diagnosis. And for bile acid deficiency, that's a little more difficult to test for because you can have more indirect tests for that. You can test for the amount of stool fat, so the amount of fat in the stool, and you can test for blood levels of fat-soluble vitamins. And if those things are off, then that can help reveal what's going on. Now, what's the treatment? Well, there is good news because there are solutions. So for bile acid malabsorption, we often prescribe bile acid binders, like I mentioned, such as cholestyramine, to bind all that excess bile that's in there, and that reduces the diarrhea and the symptoms that you get from bile acid malabsorption. Now, a low-fat diet might also help reduce bile production and therefore help as well. Now, for bile acid deficiency, we look at improving the digestion of fats with something called ox bile and ox bile supplements, and with digestive enzymes to support fat breakdown and fat absorption. So here's a link actually above, and it's also in the description below. And this is a link to my favorite product that I use for bile acid deficiency. All right, now, what about nutritional support? Because that's often key and often important as well. And what we may do is check and replace vitamins such as the fat-soluble vitamins A and D and E if needed. All right, so if you're struggling with digestive issues after having your gallbladder removed, don't let anyone tell you that it's just all in your head. Bile acid malabsorption and bile acid deficiency are real problems, and they're treatable. Also, though, keep in mind that they are not the only possible causes of your symptoms. In my experience, it's very often that the gallbladder was never really the primary cause of your problem in the first place, even though it was removed. And that could be why you never got any better once it was removed. So if any of this sounds like you and you need more help with this, give us a call. We are experts in this area. This video was sponsored by the IBS Treatment Center, helping people from around the world via telemedicine since 2005. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more insight like this into your health. If you've had your gallbladder removed or you have any questions, please share your stories and your questions in the comments section below. I'd love to hear about it. And remember to take good care of your body. It's the only place that you have to live. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. We create informative videos like this weekly. So if you enjoyed it, please help our channel by sharing a screenshot or the link to the video on Facebook or Instagram or your favorite social media. And be sure to tag me wherever you post and let me know what you liked about the video and what topics you'd like me to discuss in the future. If you visit our website at ibstreatmentcenter.com, we're currently offering a free ebook on how to beat IBS, so be sure to check that out. It's time to take control of your digestive problems and get your life back. I'd also appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel here, like this video, and leave a comment or question below. I'll do my best to read and respond to all of them. Thank you, and until next time.